Hello, hello, hello. Grandma Prepper here, coming at you with another video for our Prepper Pantry cooking. This is an easy meal. Again, all of my meals are super easy for my Prepper Pantry. We're going to cook some rice-a-roni beef flavor. First thing we're gonna do is, in a large skillet, combine rice, vermicelli mix, and butter, and saute over medium heat. So, funny story, I accidentally put water in my original box. Not supposed to do that. Alright, so we're going to add the butter. 1 teaspoon, I just eyeball it. Is that a teaspoon or a tablespoon? 2 tablespoons. And I just eyeball it. Put in whatever I feel like putting in that day. Turn my heat to medium high. Things don't quite cook as quickly up where I'm at. So medium high is better than medium for me. Depends on where you're at, as far as, you know, above sea level. And I just dropped my spoon. Perfect. I need a new one. So the amount of heat that you use really does depend on your relation to the ocean and how far you are above it. So I've got my butter in the pan and I've got the rice-a-roni in the pan. Now, something that I want to share with you is I typically use pots. I don't always use a frying pan when it calls for a frying pan, especially if I'm adding other things. I prefer to just use one pan and be done. My daughter does this all. There we go. That worked. All right, I'm going to show you what's in the pan and how this looks. We're going to be frying it up until that vermicelli, or however you pronounce it, is golden brown. And right now it is more like a yellow at the moment. So once this starts to cook up, then I will bring you back. All right, sorry about that. I did not realize that my tripod was actually in the footage. So I fixed that for you. And we are just getting in here and stirring this up. It has not started to cook yet, but that butter is just beginning to start melting. So I'm trying to get that mixed in a little bit. And my daughter taught me this trick for keeping my spoons off of the counter. All right, this is starting to really cook up. I want to get this butter mixed in really well. And I apologize, it seems like no matter what I'm doing, my tripod is in the way. So that butter's nice and melted and mixed in real good. So now we're just gonna even this out at the best we can. And let this fry up for a bit. It's time to stir this. It's been frying up pretty good. I don't know if you can see it, but the vermicelli is actually starting to brown a little bit. Not a lot. Got to break up the little bit of clumps that are there. We want everything all on its own. All right. And we will keep letting this cook, and we'll keep occasionally stirring it. I don't know if you can see, but it's getting brown. See, that's getting brown. I try to keep it down, you know, from the edges. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just going to keep stirring until that vermicelli is nice and golden brown. All right, that vermicelli is nice and brown. Next, we are going to slowly stir in water and special seasonings and bring to a boil. This is a seasoning packet that came in the box. Yeah, that's the seasoning packet. I'm going to go ahead and open it. Now, I'm going to bring the seasoning packet over here and empty it in. Usually it's not clumped, but the day that I did buy these boxes, it was raining. So now I'm going to add my 2.5 cups of water. And I'm going to bring this to a boil and make sure that these clumps are completely dissolved. Next, once it starts boiling, we're going to cover and reduce the heat to low and simmer for 15 to 20 minutes or until rice is tender. Okay, so just so you know, here it has to be cooked for 20 plus minutes. And we're just going to keep the lid off and let this come to a boil. Doesn't that look yummy? It looks like beef broth with rice in it. So it has come to a boil. Those little bubbles in there. Now it's time to cover it. and then turn it to simmer, which is low. And then we're gonna put a timer for 20 minutes. And there you have it. We are going to wait for 20 minutes and we will be back. We are almost 10 minutes into this cook time, and you can see the rice has absorbed a lot of that moisture, and I have started opening the cans, getting them ready. I still need to open the beef, but I usually wait to do that for a couple minutes till the timer has a couple minutes left on it. I did drain a little bit of the beans and a little bit of the green beans, although with these green beans and black beans, I don't want to pour out all of the juice because I will be putting half of each of them away for later. So, but in the meantime, I have cleaned up, thrown all the garbage away. While this is garbage, it's my instructions, so I keep that until I'm completely done cooking. Now, Ken is going to join me for lunch today, and he does not like black beans or green beans. So once I add the roast beef, I'm gonna let it cook for a little bit to warm up that beef, and then I will be dishing him some up. And then, of course, because some of it is going to be missing, I'm not going to add quite as much of the black beans or the green beans, because that would be too much of a ratio of beans and vegetables. So we're going to finish waiting for this timer, and I'll bring you back as soon as the timer goes off. The timer has not quite gone off yet, but I want to add this gravy to my rice. So I'm going to be putting this can in the pot for the remainder of the cook time. I'm going to stir this up. There is just a little tiny bit of moisture left, not much. So I'm going to show you real quick. There's not really any moisture left. This rice is actually done. So I'm going to get this. Oh, sorry. I'm having a rough day with my broken tripod here. I'm going to add this roast beef in here. I should have broken the roast beef up quite a bit, but I did not. It's okay. I'm just going to stir this in really, really, really good.
Who's in Brewville would be very happy you're making roast beef.
Okay. I'm going to show you what that looks like in the pan. Smells good. Oh my goodness, smells so good. Okay. So we're going to let this warm up, because of course adding something cold made it not quite so warm. So we're going to reset this timer for 5 minutes, and we're just going to leave it on low. And I'll bring you back as soon as we are done with that timer. All right, it's been 5 minutes. Time to stir this up real good. We're gonna give Ken a bowl. Hope you can see that real good. Okay, so now I'm gonna add just a little bit of these vegetables. I don't want to add the moisture because I don't want it to be a soup. So, well, I ended up with a half a can. That's fine. I don't mind. All right, so we are going to, turn this off. Mix this in. Oh my goodness. Doesn't that look yummy? Black beans, green beans, roast beef. Black beans, green beans, roast beef. Doesn't that look really good? So, I'm going to put the lid on it and let it sit for a little bit, let those warm up. And then I will be back to get my own bowl. All right, so this is all nice and warm now. I'm going to go ahead and stir it up again. Try to get that mixed in as best as I can so that I get all the yummies. And there we go. And voila, we have a Prepper Pantry meal in roughly 25-30 minutes. Easy meal. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.